Hello folks, your friend James Preacher here with a King James Bible in his hand. Just want to go over something that might be a help to some of you, just maybe 10 minutes worth of signs of the times, signs of the last days.
Today we're going to take things a little differently. We're going to go on a nature walk and discuss this list before us that was put together by Pleasant Preacher, USA. So the first thing on the list is false Christ. James the Preacher says you'll know that you're in the end of times. One of the signs will be that there will be men who will be claiming that they are Christ, that they are God, and all these such things. Well, since the alleged event of Jesus Christ, that's been going on for how long now? How many times do we run into people who think that they're God, or they are the voice of God, or the messenger of God? This has been going on forever. This is not a future event. This is something that is presupposed. Wars and rumors of war. Well, there's been wars even before the alleged Christ figure walked the earth. That is one thing that man is a fan of, destruction and death, bloodshed. I have a feeling that as long as humanity exists, there will always be war. You don't have to be some incredibly amazing prophet in order to know that. Famines is one of his next signs. Well, famine's been around before the alleged Jesus Christ. As long as there's greedy men in the world, there's always going to be people who are hungry, and there's going to be those who are sitting up in their high places of authority, being able to eat like fucking pigs. That's nothing new, and that definitely doesn't tell us of some future horrors. The only thing that is horrifying is that man in this day is still greedy enough to allow children, men and women to starve to death when we have the resources that we do. Of course, some claim we're running out of. Pestilence, disease. Well, disease has been around for a very long time. That's not something new in our world, is it? Actually, though, we've actually improved whenever it comes to diseases and viruses and sicknesses. Sure, there are people who are still dying from things like HIV, immune system destruction, but we have gotten a lot better. We actually have hospitals. We actually have places people can go to get medicines and things like this. Our local pharmacy. Back in the day, you didn't even have that shit. It would have been a nightmare to even go to somebody like a dentist to have a tooth removed. Earthquakes. Well, I don't have to sit here and remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that earthquakes have been around for a long, long time. Plate tectonics is the reason why we have some of our land masses and mountains that we do. Earthquakes have been around before as well as after. Like many of these signs, they are just repetitive, things that have always been, so it's not like a prophet said anything new. Persecution of Christians. Since Christianity came on the scene, it has been said that they are always persecuted and always going through stuff. But the irony of this is it's usually Christians that have been doing the persecution. It's usually the Christians who've done things to Muslims as well as the Hindus, and that's one of the reasons why we have some of these wars and rumors of war today. The Christians have persecuted non-believers. They have persecuted pagan. To a Christian, a non-believer is anyone who doesn't believe in their faith, so it doesn't even matter if you believe in a God or not. As long as you're not presupposed to their religion, then you pretty much are what you are, ladies and gentlemen. From a Christian perspective, betrayal and hatred has been around since Genesis, whenever Adam and Eve basically betrayed God's word. Humanity has betrayed itself. Humanity has done many things to one another in order to be able to benefit. Some, even now, will betray each other just to get up corporate ladders. Some will do whatever it takes in order to get that promotion or get set up in business. That's the way life is. It's the way life has always been. So not even that is a sign of the times. False prophets, huh? Well, I would say all these end-time preachers out here who are constantly talking about the end of the world when the Bible clearly says that no man will know the time or hour in which Christ will return are all false prophets. Anybody who sits there and claims that they know the exact date or time in which Christ is going to return is a goddamn false prophet if I ever seen one. We get these Christians who claim to be faith healers. We get these Christians who claim that they can predict that whenever they lay their hands on you, they're going to be able to heal you. All these are false teachers and false prophets. You don't have to be a Christian to see them by their fruit. Sin abounds, according to his little tablature that he has set up. Well, according to Christians, sin has been around even before humanity existed. According to the book of Romans, Christ was slain before the foundations of the earth, before God even planned on creating humanity and the animals and life itself. Sin has been there. Now, this is, of course, is from the Christian perspective. So if sin has always been, and sin will always be, then this isn't really a sign of the times either. Like I said in many other videos, one day the world will come to an end. One day humanity will get to a point where it will either evolve and go into space and do what it needs to do, or humanity will kill itself, destroy itself. Or maybe humanity will try to get better and the world will still fucking decay around them until the point that all man, including myself, doesn't exist anymore. That's the way it is. By saying that the world will end one day doesn't make you a prophet, it makes you realistic. See you later, ladies and gentlemen. It was fun. There's old Rocky. Hey, baby. My little black cat. That's a sign that you shouldn't walk down the street next to him. It's bad luck if you're superstitious. I just think he's a beautiful cat.